pregame is brought to you by AT&T. Toyota Park is a site where the 2018 Tournament of Nations reaches its dramatic conclusion. The U.S. women's national team with visions of lifting the trophy set to close out their campaign against Brazil. Earlier tonight, Australia knocked off Japan 2-0, a result that eliminates Brazil and puts all the pressure on Jill Ellis's side. A 2-goal U.S. victory and they snatch first place, but anything less, and the Matildas win this competition for the second straight year. Welcome to Fox Sports coverage on the road to next summer's Women's World Cup in France. I'm Alex Curry alongside former U.S. international Leslie Osborne. Now, before we look ahead to tonight's game against Brazil, Leslie, what was your takeaway from Sunday's game against Australia?
I think overall it was a solid performance. I think they were lacking in the attacking third and a few too many giveaways, especially in the midfield. But Jill Ellis was so complimentary of her team post-game, and I think that's because of the growth this team has shown from the last time they played Australia. They dealt with the high press so well. They were composed. How much possession this team actually had against Australia. And for the team to come back, get that equalizer in the 90th minute, to be down a goal and have that grit and mentality, and to have young players like a Rose Lavelle being involved in something like that is huge for this team going forward.
Well, let's take a look at the starting lineups. First, for the top-ranked team in the world, here's the U.S. starting 11, Leslie.
Yeah, and Jill Ellis makes 2 changes to the Australia lineup. Tierna Davidson's back in pairing with Becky Sauerbrunn. They're going to have to stay very organized and manage Brazil in transition and deal with a very dangerous Marta, Beatriz, and Debinha. Rose Lavelle getting the nod, making an impact, and helping the U.S. score a goal after coming in the last few games. Same trio up top as Australia, and Megan Rapinoe, all eyes on her. She is on fire and playing the best soccer I've ever seen from her.
Yeah, she is. Now over to Brazil, 7th in the latest FIFA rankings, and here's how they'll start.
Yeah, and Coach Fideo keeps them in a 4-4-2, making 4 changes. They're so technical, crafty. They're missing some key players, but number 21, Monica, she is really the only experienced player in the back line, so it's going to have to keep them organized. All eyes on number 10, Marta, world-class, extremely dangerous, more of a playmaker role, but can still score those goals. And I love number 16, Beatriz, up top. She's young, she can hold the ball, she's strong, and she can finish so well in the box.
Should be a great match. Now, Brazil 2-1 winners over Japan last time out, and tonight they're hoping to silence a passionate crowd in Bridgeview, Illinois, by handing the U.S. their first loss of 2018. Kickoff is minutes away.
You want to bring the heat? Prove it. With carbs to help fuel muscles. And electrolytes to help replace what you lose in sweat. Studied, tested, proven. Nothing beats Gatorade.
You make me train longer.
Drags it back and a shot and a goal for the United States for Carly Lloyd.
You make me try harder.
You make me dream bigger.
And when something's in my way, you make me push through it.
She kept it out. Lethal in front of goal.
You make me see the person I want to be.
Anticipation building at Toyota Park, where the U.S. women are getting ready to square off against Brazil in the final match of the Tournament of Nations. Walkouts and kickoff are next. Pre-game is sponsored by AT&T.
This is the Pepsi for America's Best Barbecue. Worthy of 100-mile detours and 1,000 likes. Looks good. This is the Pepsi for mopping, dipping, and dousing. Whatever you're craving, this is the Pepsi for you.
The U.S. and Brazil set to meet for the 36th time, and the crowd is making noise at Toyota Park.
And now please welcome the national teams of the United States of America and Brazil!
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and remove your hats for the playing of the national anthem of Brazil, followed by the playing of the national anthem of the United States of America.
We are moments from kickoff. So, Leslie, what's the mentality for this U.S. team knowing they need that 2-goal win?
Yeah, sometimes it can be tough mentally knowing that score before you play, but this team has to stick and execute their game plan, make sure their back line is organized and good positioning, and taking advantage of Brazil pushing numbers forward. And also on set pieces, Brazil is not organized, they're poor in set pieces, and that's USA's strength. They're more physical and better in the air.
It's going to be a great test for this U.S. team. We are just about ready for kickoff, so let's send it out to our match commentators, JP Della Camera and Ali Wagner.
Thank you, Alex. The U.S. knows what they have to do, and that's win by 2 goals or more. We'll see how they can get it done, Ali, with the starting lineup that looks familiar, although Jill Ellis will make some changes.
Well, they haven't had a shutout yet in this Tournament of Nations, and she makes one change to that back line. That's been a revolving door in the center back position. Tierna Davidson comes back in, the young 19-year-old, and just her 10th cap gets a start. On that left side, though, I'm curious on how high Crystal Dunn gets positioned today. Does she push up and bring a winger with her of Brazil, or does she stay low and allow Rapinoe to go to work? Rose Lavelle on the interior brings more balance to the midfield with her attacking creativity. And then Rapinoe, Morgan Heath, they were quieted against Australia, but I think today they're going to licking their chops against this Brazil team that can get disorganized.
And Brazil is another team that will make changes in their 11.
And it starts in goal with Leticia. Vidal has opted to use all 3 goalkeepers this tournament. Leticia gets the nod tonight. In front of her, Taila gets her first start alongside the consistent center back of Monica. It looks as though Dabinia is going to slot in centrally. She's been playing on that left mid spot. She's going to come into her preferred central position, which makes room for Adriana on that left wing. And then up top, Beatriz Marta, both likely runners to get in behind, but Marta's going to be the one that's more willing to pop off and play make for Brazil.
Alex Morgan will wear the captain's armband for her side, and her Orlando Pride teammate Marta wears it for Brazil. Scenarios are now simple because of Australia's win. We now know what needs to be done. U.S. has to win by 2 goals or more over Brazil. Brazil were eliminated by Australia's earlier win, and Japan was eliminated before it even started with their 2 losses and now 3 in this tournament. But Japan also, a team that used all 3 goalkeepers in this tournament, used it a bit to experiment. 77 degrees approaching kickoff. USA will be in white with the blue and red trim. Alex Morgan, Megan Rapinoe hoping to lead the way offensively. It's another homecoming for Alyssa Nair. Born and raised in Connecticut, she had a homecoming there, and now this is the club team that she plays for. Chicago Red Stars call this stadium their home. There's the player that the U.S. has to control, Marta.
Yeah, one of a couple. Beatrice has been another nuisance for other opponents throughout this tournament, but Marta's had 1 goal and 1 assist to her name of the 3 that Brazil has scored.
Backline knows they're going to be challenged. Brazil will play as many as 4 attackers going forward. Jill Ellis said yesterday more like a 4-2-4. So that should leave a lot of space in the midfield. We're going to kick this one again. You don't see that often.
They usually let that go, and you already saw a good glimpse at Brazil throwing numbers forward.
Out of the back to the right side, Ryani getting it back from Thais, coming all the way back towards goal to the feet of Leticia, who clears. Brazil back in the ball, coming off of a win against Japan, 2-1. They are second in this tournament in shots taken. The U.S. is number 1. The U.S. has had 16 shots, Brazil 13. Ryani with a throw-in, got it in quickly. Knocked out by Lindsey Horan, who had that game-tying goal in dramatic fashion, 90th minute, in East Hartford, Connecticut on Sunday. And the foul there goes against Brazil.
And a performance that Jill Ellis was incredibly pleased with. Lindsey Horan, that is. I thought the midfield had a stronger match against Australia with their spacing. They had better layers. They were able to support the attack much better, and they solved pressure. The initiative to solve pressure individually was more impressive than we've seen as of late.
Horan will push it back. Sauerbrunn has the 19-year-old Davidson, the youngest on this team, up for Horan. That's broken up. Chipped ahead by Adriana. Beatrice, she had 6 goals in World Cup qualifying. Dispossessed. Crystal Dunn is on the ball. The left back going forward. Morgan likes to make those runs deep between the 2 center backs. He's going to go out for a corner.
I expect the U.S. to do that early and often, and it was a good picture on that last one. Alex Morgan can drive those center backs really deep because the outside backs of Brazil will push high, and she can find some space when she makes those inside-out runs.
It was Rapinoe's corner, that last corner that led to the Horan goal. Ertz, one of the targets, near post runs for her. Rapinoe will send it near post, nodded away before it could get to Ertz. U.S. won that ball back from Davidson. Dunn with a slight touch. Rapinoe tried to keep it in, but it's out of play. We're seeing more and more of Crystal Dunn as the left back. She can play a number of positions. Usually, when they make substitutions, she'll change her position during the game.
Yeah, her versatility is a huge asset for Jill Ellis. I don't know that she's had the impact going forward that they'd want to see out of her, and they're going to want to see more of that or have that element develop in her game. You think of her as being such an attacking presence in the NWSL. Through this tournament, it's been a rather defensive role or defensive impact that she's been able to bring. But having said that, the U.S. usually likes to rotate her up and pinch Megan Rapinoe in high. It's something I have my eye on tonight to see how they play with that spacing.
Sauerbrunn forced back to Alyssa Nair. Slices that ball out of play. This is her home stadium with the NWSL, where Chicago Red Stars currently in 5th place in the standings. Top 4 teams make the NWSL playoffs. That's an easy one to call on Rapinoe. Free kick for Brazil. And like the men's national team of Brazil, they are dangerous on free kicks.
And it's a silly foul, you could say, conceded right here. Megan Rapinoe just comes in late. It's a 2v2 situation. They're in the sideline. They have numbers defensively.
Marta is expected to take this, although Rayani is there. She'll step over it for Marta. Curling ball in, knocked away. It was Heath. And now it's cleared out. They're throwing for the U.S., apparently, despite the protest of Rayani. Rapinoe, 2 assists in this tournament, 1 in each game. She says it's her throw in. The referee says otherwise. Our match referee is Quetzali Alvarado from Mexico. Thrown by Rayani. Marta. Oh, that's a rough one there. It's going to be brought back. That was a very physical confrontation from Monica, a teammate of Alex Morgan's in the NWSL with Orlando City, or with Orlando Pride, sorry. A warning, perhaps? Just a verbal warning.
This is a look at it. Rapinoe's just trying to play that in behind. Monica gets turned. I think it's that trailing arm that catches her.
Heath on the right, knocked out of play. Heath starting her 2nd game in this tournament. Kristen Press started the other in that position, wide right. It's a USA throw-in. 6th minute, 0s on the board. U.S. has to win this game by 2 or more goals to win the Tournament of Nations trophy. Otherwise, it goes to Australia, who beat Japan 2-0 in the opener of this doubleheader. Sonnet, Ertz, Lovell. Nice touch, nice soft touch to Heath. Runners in the box. Heath, couple of cuts, sending it in front, it's wide. Rapinoe, that's blocked out by Rayani. Should be a corner for the U.S.
We talked about it coming to this match. This is what Lovell can do for you. She just sits in that pocket of space, slips that in for Tobin Heath so she can take it on stride, go 1v1. Love that look. Alex Morgan just hounding in behind her defender, tries to slip it.
Corner by Rapinoe, more to the middle. And it's over the bar. That's where she was aiming it on that last corner kick in East Hartford to Haran after going near post several other times.
And all 3 of Brazil's goals conceded in this tournament have come off of corner kicks too direct, such as this right here. You can see there's not a lot of attack going on from Brazil to fire at that ball, and the goalkeeper's actually caught off her line.
Looks like Lovell had gotten to it as Leticia clears it ahead. 23-year-old goalkeeper got it to the halfway line, taken over by Lovell. Right side, Heath. Cutting on Tamariz, who strips her of the ball. Tamariz quickly tries to get Brazil going on a counter. That's where they're very dangerous. We haven't seen it yet, but it's early.
It's been choppy. 7 minutes in, incredibly broken up play.
Lovell, nice cutting ball. Heath, holding, looks. That one got away from her. Today's telecast is brought to you by AT&T. 8th minute, 0s on the board. Heath had options, just didn't hit it well.
Oh, but again, JP, it was Lovell that's sliding her into that space. You got to think she's going to be one of the happier players on the pitch with Lovell coming into the fold.
Laid up by Morgan. Heath, Lovell to her side. Tobin Heath returns the favor. Right in front wide. An immediate hand up to apologize for the young midfielder.
I think it was Lindsay Haran who was complaining at the service there, but it's these two combining again on that far side. Tobin Heath, Rose Lovell. Looks like she might have even been a step ahead of that back line of Brazil. The referee doesn't call it. And I'm not sure about her decision making there. Is she trying to drive that across as a shot cross, find that far post? Or is it just an errant pass? Either way, it doesn't come close.
As great as it is to see her on the field, we're told not to expect more than 45 minutes. The other day, she was cleared physically to play for maybe 30. They've upped it to 45, so we would not be surprised if she comes out at halftime.
Smart to manage her minutes heading into qualification. You can see already early on the impact that she brings. The balance in the midfield, they haven't had a player that is a 10, that can be a creative one, that pulls the strings.
She's dealt with injuries, only 3 games this year, 62 minutes in the USA jersey, and they're going to stop play after Beatrice got hit in the face here in the 10th minute. Great tournament for Megan Rapinoe, and a great season as well. 4 goals, 8 assists this calendar year for the USA. This one is unfortunate for Beatrice. Beatrice is becoming a name now on this team. Before, all we talked about was Marta, but now you've got other players chipping in, like Beatrice, like Davinia, like others.
Her finish the other day against Japan was world class. The way she cut her defender in the box, slid it far post.
Sonnet pushing it. Heath and Lavelle have worked very well on that right side together so far. Sauerborn, second straight start. Horan. Rapinoe. They're giving her space. Rapinoe shanked that one. No one closed her down, surprisingly.
And they should know better because she likes to release her shot from outside the 18. In this tournament, we've seen it a few times already. But that's one thing I've seen out of Brazil. They oftentimes back up, and they can back up into their 18 at times. Give the opponent too much space.
The U.S. has to win this game by 2 or more goals to win the Tournament of Nations trophy. It's scoreless here in the 11th minute. Marta on the ball, laid it off. Pushed back by Monica, very slowly. Right side, Bryani. Got it from Taila. Thais took one in the face from Dunn. It'll be a free kick for Brazil.
And that's unfortunate for Dunn in the U.S. because they had really good defensive shape. The mids had slid across after Brazil had solved it. And then Dunn read it and rotated hard and got pressure on her immediately. Yes, she got called for the foul.
Looks like she was booked as well.
I think at least JP, though, they're reading the cues, and you're right. This is it, her just stepping there. She's got cover, and she reads that long touch, and then you can see the hand to the face. Right call by the referee. Anytime a hand goes up into the face, they'll draw that card.
It's the first booking as Martin takes the free kick. Curling one up there. It's allowed to bounce. Quick shot there, and it's wide. Heard a whistle right before it, though. On the shot from Monica. The U.S. conceded that first goal in the last game to Australia. Had to come from behind just to get the draw. Draw doesn't do them any good in terms of winning this tournament today. Must win by 2 or more. That time Rapinoe and Dunn too close to one another. It's a Brazil throw-in. Right side, Beatrice knocked out by Davidson. 10th start for Davidson. Started the first 9. Sat out the last game against Australia. Right back at it. This will be a good test for her with Brazil's pace.
And the numbers they throw forward. I know she's made some perhaps poor decisions in her positioning, but that cover speed that you just saw, really important for the U.S.
It's got to be tough, right, for Davidson, because she's not training right now with a club because Stanford's not playing, right? They'll start their preseason, I would imagine, soon. So it's got to be rougher for her than these other players that are all tied in with clubs.
It's so rough for those young players that are in college and don't have
sympathy.
no
sympathy from the former.
No sympathy
from the former collegiate star. Okay. Here's Lavelle on the ball. Down she goes. Gets the call. Sometimes these games do get physical between Brazil and the U.S., despite all the offensive flair that both teams possess.
Always physical. One of the greatest rivalries I think the United States has.
Yeah, the record's lopsided, but Brazil has played them tough. Played them a couple of times in gold medal games in the Olympics. Beat them in Brazil's best ever win against the U.S. the 2007 World Cup in the semis. Here's Rapinoe, left side. Cutting it back, a chance. Saved by Leticia, robbing Julie Ertz.
This is one of the beauties of having Julie Ertz in your midfield. She makes those late runs. Rapinoe has time to slide this back, pulls it out, and it's really well timed by Julie Ertz. One initially by Crystal Dunn, and then Rapinoe gets her head up. She sees the run coming late, and it's towards that near post, but she rifles it right at Leticia, who had traffic in front. It could have been shielded.
Ertz also playing for the Chicago Red Stars. She has played for them. This is her 5th year with that club.
Credit to Rory Dames, because he's the one who put her into the central midfield role.
And she settled in there very well. You would have thought after the 2015 Women's World Cup that center back was going to be her spot. Dunn on the left. Scoreless here, 15th minute. USA and Brazil. Final game of this 2018 Tournament of Nations competition. That was off Morgan. Touched back. Leticia, pressure from Lavelle. Forced her into that mistake. It's a throw in for the U.S. Rapinoe knocked down by Thais. Wanted to take that throw in quicker, but no one was open. Into the box. Horan, end line, cutting it back. Tapped back and collected. Taken over by Adriana. The return to Adriana. Davinia. Here's what we meant about committing to the attack. Brazil on the board. Did it go off Davidson? They had at least 5 players on the attack there.
I think it did, and this all started with Sonnet rotating hard into midfield, and she got 1-2'd down that left side. Here it is. Here comes Brazil. Sonnet gets there, but she doesn't put enough pressure on to allow the ball to get in behind ultimately. And then the run by Beatrice. She pulls herself wide. Right there, that pauses Sauerbrunn. She can't close quickly enough. This ball curls in behind exactly where you play it. To force an error like that from Davidson, who's just trying to make a play on the ball and protect her goalkeeper, and ultimately causes insult. Really well-constructed counterattack by Brazil, and the runners were coming with Dabinia and with the new starter in Adriana.
They had at least 5 players going forward, and it results in the goal.
They're so vertical in the way they play. Watch their movement today. It's all straight up the heart of their opponent. Not a lot coming across the pitch, and Davidson, yes, she causes an own goal there, or scores an own goal, but that's the reason you play that ball in behind, is to force that error. She's going to be upset with herself, but I don't know. There's a ton she could have done. You have to go back to where the initial play broke down, and that's with Sonnet rotating, and it got solved in the quick 1-2.
The U.S. has to win by 2 in order to win the Tournament of Nations trophy. They're trailing here by 1. Horan. Rapinoe. Can he get an answer back quickly? Rapinoe cuts. Rapinoe blocked. They try to get the answer back within seconds. 18th minute. The chance here in the corner. Ertz, Morgan among the targets. Rapinoe to the middle again. Cleared a second time. It'll be settled though by Sauerbrunn. Under pressure. Beats that pressure. Lofts it back up. Rapinoe, but the flag was up. Goal kick for Brazil.
And when this ball popped out, look at how lazy those recovery runs are. Rapinoe looks to me onside. Julie Ertz is the one that maybe could be considered offside. But make that just quick, harder run to get back onside, ensure the ref can't throw that flag up, and then reroute your run.
Off Horan. Lindsay recovers. Battle for the loose ball. Gathered in by the U.S. Sonnet. Sauerbrunn U.S. trailing by 1 on an own goal off Davidson in the 16th minute. Sauerbrunn. Ertz. Sonnet. This is Heath. He's going to go out for a USA throw-in. Easy one to call. The far side. The USA will have a free kick. Tamarese commits the foul. Lavelle is going to go over to take it. She adds a lot of creativity to this team, as does Mallory Pugh, out with an injury. Those two together could be something special for the USA. Lavelle lofting one up there, but it's too close to Leticia, who sends this one long towards the halfway line. Beatrice, 1v2, didn't matter. Rayani's pass, Marta battles, knocked away. She tries to recover. Good work by the captain. Now it's knocked away. Cleared out by Rayani. Throw in for Rapinoe. Tossing it into space towards Morgan. And it's Leticia. May have taken that Morgan foot in the stomach area.
That's a matchup with Alex Morgan going against Monica. You saw the pace difference on that ball played in behind from Rapinoe. They've looked to do this all tournament long. It's just a quick transition moment on a dead ball situation. Monica doesn't ride off her player well. Alex Morgan almost feasts on it. She gets something to it.
Morgan with 16 goals in 17 games. Her last 17 for the U.S. She and Rapinoe, the only two that have started every game this calendar year.
And that consistency is helping them develop their chemistry. Even though they've played together for years, they're taking it to a new level.
Ertz for Horan. Numbers forward for the U.S. Wide for Rapinoe. U.S. trailing by a goal. She goes outside, beats Rayani. Rapinoe, saved by Leticia. She swatted it away. Good move by Rapinoe to have a crack at goal on her own. Lavelle puts it up. Off Gunn. Gunn! Save again! At least I thought so. Did Leticia not touch it?
This is the first one. How about that ball by Lindsay Horan? The outside of her right foot just to lay it into the path of Rapinoe. Then she swivels her hips to cause that defender to freeze. She does, in fact, get something on it. Leticia to knock that over to the far post. And then Lavelle reserves this. Dunn comes crashing in. Finds herself in familiar territory in the 18, but that volley goes right on frame. Leticia just has to rise up and nick it above the bar.
23rd minute. She was very acrobatic with those moves.
Been called into action multiple times already in the 23rd minute.
Dunn had that great opportunity with her NWSL club, 7 goals and 5 assists this season. Her team, North Carolina Courage, in first place.
No signs of slowing down.
Morgan and Rapinoe, good individually, better together. Rapinoe talked about that. Megan said yesterday, I'm the playmaker. She said that's my role. And she said Alex Morgan is the ruthless goal scorer. And she used the word ruthless.
But I loved what else she said, which was the willing runner. And it's so true. Alex Morgan has been darting across the back line, specifically in the last few matches, making those inside-out runs. Always looking to get in behind. Rapinoe gets on it.
And Morgan knows if she's making that run that Rapinoe will find her. Leticia sent it forward. So apparently she did not touch that last one. Just the crossbar. Heath, Morgan, slowed down. Brazil back on the ball. That's blocked. That's a great move by Ertz. To the right sideline, Thais. Under pressure, lost it. Done. Waits. Well-timed pass. Morgan. Sending it across the other way. Looked like she was trying to find Heath, but it got away.
Coming into today, I thought that Dunn hadn't had the impact offensively that you'd like to see out of her. Already in this match, we've seen her in the offensive third more often. I don't think she's playing as high as she's been asked to in the previous matches, coming from a lower role.
25th minute. Thoughts of the game with Brazil leading by a goal?
This is how Brazil was going to go about business today. Low line of confrontation, play on the break. The U.S. looking to control tempo, control play, and going to be a physical battle. But I think the U.S. looked brighter in the final third than in the previous two matches. They don't have anything to show for it yet. Yet being the key word. It's such a good look at the shape of U.S. off defensively, excuse me. 3 tight front runners, 3 midfielders flat. They just have to slide across when Brazil gets into those outside areas.
Nair with that long toss to the right. Control by Lavelle. Sonnet. Some Brazilian pressure against the U.S. And they win the ball at the sideline. Tamaris with a pass that's blocked. Mark. Beatrice blocked. Brazil will recover. Good move there. Pushed wide by Thaisa. Beatrice returning it. And heavy touch. Thought it was last touch by Davinia. Let's see. Yep, was. Nair will put it back into play. U.S. with that 18-game unbeaten streak on the line. But it's the trophy that they're looking for today. They could remain unbeaten but still not win the trophy. Here's Dunn. Have to win by 2 today. Dunn, left side. Pressure on the ball. Look who is tracking back. That was Marta. Here's Rapinoe. Trying to send it in, it's blocked. Brazil will send this one forward. Flag is staying down. That's a foot race won by Brazil. The cut there. Nair with a big save. Brazil keeps it. Thaisa's pass. Up the middle. That's blocked. U.S. will get it back. Here's Horan. Moving it away, but Brazil will take over. U.S. back in the ball. It was the shot by Dabinia that could have made it 2-0.
And it was the doubling back efforts of Brazil that you haven't seen in the previous 2 matches that are popping up today. They're getting those second players coming back and defending.
Alex Morgan is wide, 28th minute. U.S. down by a goal, needing to win by 2 to win this trophy. Otherwise, the trophy goes to Australia for the 2nd consecutive year. Adriana, 11 on the ball in the yellow and blue of Brazil. Pushing it back. Tamaris. Taken away. Rapinoe, blocked. Knotted down. Into the box. That's cut off there by Thaisa. Out of the wing. U.S. blocking that. That was Sonnet. U.S. almost got a nice, fortunate bounce, but it didn't go their way in the end.
And it was almost just token pressure that was gifted them possession at the top of the 18. I think they were surprised to win it there.
Emily Sonnet started all 3 games of this tournament at right back.
And she's being sized up against Dabinia because Dabinia is in fact on that in that left mid, left wing role. With Adriana coming into the central one, I thought it was going to be the opposite.
Dunn. Going wide, playing it back post area. Knotted down, collected by Rose Lavelle. 16 in the white of the U.S. Getting it back from Sonnet. Lavelle using the right foot. It's up there, but too close to Leticia.
This is a look at the break of Brazil, how quickly they can pounce. They're sitting on that back line of the U.S. They only have 3 players back. Sonnet's doing well to recover, but in the end, Dabinia gets the better of her. Big save by Nair, and covered by Sauerbrunn to get that deflection out. Here they come again, though. It's on that left side that they're having success on the counter.
And in that collision, Brazil will have a free kick. Dabinia's speed was very impressive, but also impressive was the way that Sonnet caught up to her.
Well, I don't think of Dabinia as being an incredibly pacey player, more crafty typically. This is a look at the challenge between those 3. But I think Emily Sonnet had a challenging day against Ivana last match with Australia, and perhaps something that Brazil saw coming in today is that matchup of Dabinia going against Sonnet, Marta fading to that left side.
Marta's played in 4 World Cups. No one has scored more goals than her at the World Cup level. She has 15. Into the box it comes. It's allowed to bounce, but true to Nair. Alyssa Nair will send it all the way upfield. A bit too far, intended for Horan. Jill Ellis said the other day that she thought Lindsay Horan maybe had her best game in the USA jersey. That's high praise because we've seen her have some good games, big games.
I think she liked the way she connected the midfield. Her decisions and the areas that she was receiving it in were more impactful in that match. They really took advantage of the way that Australia initiated their line of confrontation.
When you look at the live standings, not only would the U.S. not win the tournament, but they would finish in 3rd place if this result were to stand. Half hour gone. Here in the 31st minute. An own goal off Davidson, the difference in this in the 16th minute. Monica. All the way back to Leticia, who's had to come up big on a couple of occasions so far. Rayani, that's too far. U.S. will have a throw in from Dunn for Lavelle, who's now popping up on his left side. Cut off by Adriana. Adriana's pass short. Marta. Straight ahead. Right side it comes. Rayani. Thais. Knocked away by Lavelle. Thais recovers. Short pass to Marta. Cleared by Horan. Morgan is on the chase. Short for Horan. 32nd minute. Sauerbrunn. Done. Rapinoe checking back, receives, looks to return it. Dunn trying to get behind Thais. May lead to another corner as that ball was knocked out of play. U.S. will get another corner with Dunn and Rapinoe working well on that left side in tandem.
And again, it's smart positioning with Dunn on the inside, allows that space to hold out wide so they can just 1-2 into that area.
Another Rapinoe corner, 33rd minute. Driven, back post area, blocked, and then cleared away by Brazil. One in the air again. That was Sonnet. Now it comes all the way back out to the circle. Sauerbrunn for Dunn. U.S. still have many players upfield. On that last corner, Rapinoe up towards Morgan in the air. Settled, Horan went short. Lavelle! Go! 1-1.
Well, welcome back, Miss Rose Lavelle. The world missed you. Of course, it starts on this far side with the driven ball with Megan Rapinoe. Alex Morgan rises up, and then Lindsay Horan has a lot of time to pick out Lavelle, who's just fading away from her defender. She wants the ball at her feet initially. The ball goes over the top. She just holds her patient run, the top of the 18, and this one finds her in a pocket of space. That is not an easy finish. That ball rises up, and she has a clean strike on it. She isn't hasty with it. Little half volley there. That ball's barely moving as it tucks into that far post.
We've seen a lot of her skill with the left foot. That was off the right foot. Getting her third international goal. And that's a big one there because Brazil had some momentum. It was 1-0, could have been 2-0, but now it's an even game. A game in which the U.S. has to win by 2 goals to win this tournament.
And sometimes when it's not your preferred foot, you actually take a shorter motion and it's cleaner.
Martin, couple of cuts, couple more. Moran came back to help out, but it's knocked out of play.
And that's defended well by the U.S. because you know Marta wants to go into that favored left foot. She cuts back into the recovery of Julie Ertz.
Rayani's pass knocked down. Let's see what that goal does for this U.S. team. Lavell's goal tying it. The 33rd minute. Moran. Heath did a good job to keep that in. Rapinoe finds Tobin Heath. First time she's popped up in this near side. Heath taking on players. Free at the end line, playing it in off Morgan, who clips it back. He thought she was going to be in an offside position there, so didn't go for it. Ball cleared out of play. We were told that Brazil was going to make a change. See if that in fact does happen. 36th minute, that is the case. Camila is coming in. Don't know if this is tactical or injury related, but Tamaris comes out.
You know, we don't have the answer, but Tamiris went out or down late in that Japan game. Even though she was a sub, she went down with a groin. They wrapped it up late in that match. It could be that.
Camila, another player from the Orlando Pride of the NWSL. 6 players from Brazil play in the U.S.-based professional league. 4 of them play for Orlando. That's Vidal, head coach of Brazil, back for a second stint with them. Dunn kept it in nicely. Rapinoe looking for some separation, now finds Lavelle, who was looking for a runner. TC will slow things down. '37th minute, 1-1 game.
I've seen it a couple times, JP, where the central midfielder, Thaísa's having to slide over and defend in those wide areas because Brazil likes to bomb on those outside backs. They do tend to get disorganized when they are throwing numbers forward.
Davidson. Short to Horan. Lindsey Horan back in the ball. Down that left side, looking for Morgan. Ryan, lost it. Lavelle. She was going near post. Sent it out of play.
And why not? This is something that you haven't seen from the U.S. when Lavelle's not in the match. It's runs from midfield in areas like that where she's tucking in behind Alex Morgan, who's looking for the ball at her feet. This was a wrinkle that we hadn't seen yet. And why not try to sneak into that near post? That's going to make Leticia think the next time, that's for sure.
For NWSL team, Washington Spirit. Same team that the injured Mallory Pugh plays for. So those two playing together for both club and country. Unfortunately, injuries have kept them apart on both teams, at least this year.
Their results definitely speak to that at the NWSL table. Pretty low down.
U.S. will have the ball. Emily Sonnet with his throw-in. 1-1 game, 39th minute. A game that the USA must win by 2 or more goals to win the trophy. Thanks to Australia's win in the first game over Japan. Foul on Brazil. Now the referee's coming over. That was Marta causing all the problems. The guy was asking why it wasn't a throw-in, apparently. Ball played in. Here's Rapinoe. Juggles. Rapinoe scores 2-1. Unless it's waved off. I think it's waved off. Are they saying offside, or did she handle that ball when it came off? We'll wait till we get a replay of it as it's played back. U.S. possesses.
At first glance, it didn't look like anything would have been wrong. But set pieces are an Achilles heel for this Brazilian side. And proving vulnerable again.
Out of play for a throw-in. Sana will take it. Late stages, first half, 1-1 game. Long throw, knotted down. Adriana. Big collision there. Here's a look at that goal.
There's two players for the U.S. offside.
But is Morgan interfering with the play?
I think it's a fair call to make.
Do you?
I do.
She knew it wasn't her that was offside. Tell me why.
If you're going to at least draw the attention of the defender and make them think that you're now an option. It all happened so quickly. She was in such close proximity to that play. I think it's a fair decision.
Free kick here for Brazil. Lofted in. Edge of the box cleared away by the U.S. Brazil will recover. Rayani. Clipping it ahead. Adriana circled a run to stay onside. Off a block. Out for a throw-in. Rayani puts it up. Nair punched it away. Brazil almost got to that ball, but Dunn is able to clear it. Brought back down. Taylor squaring it. Monica. Lofted in. Far side. Marta going for it. Ball is crossed. Off Nair's fingertips. It's going to be a corner. .43rd minute.
And I think Nair was frustrated that that service was allowed to come in. Just had to be certain there.
One step up, one step up, forward, one step up to your right, to your right.
Vinya putting one up. Straight up it comes. Blasted over the bar by Taiza. .43rd minute, 1-1 scoreline. U.S. must win by 2 goals or more to win the Tournament of Nations trophy. If not, Australia is the winner. Second straight year. That would be huge for that program. Ertz broken up. No foul given. On the move. Collision there allows Ertz to take over and get some help. He. Another foul. That's on Camila. She gets booked. Second booking of the day.
Camila, who's working her way back from injury. Usually a central mid, can't play an outside back position. She heads for Orlando, steps in there late. He's so crafty on the ball.
US will have a free kick. Into the box. Morgan! Well, she knows that was on her, but I think the flag was up again. Heard the whistle.
But yet another miscue by Brazil. Two players it looked like went for that initial service. Did pick up the run in behind. Weren't made to pay though. And now if you see the referees calling it this tight, give yourself a yard, a breathing room.
Rapinoe's open, running it into the box. Rapinoe cuts, taken down. Referee says no. Wagging her finger at Rapinoe. Adriana. Lavelle almost won that ball. Dunn steps in, help from Ertz. Still won though by Brazil. We are in stoppage time, minimum of 2 put on the board as Horan goes the other way with it. Cut off by Monica. Out on the wing. Brazil will look for some luck there. It's knocked away. Monica. Taiza. Brazil will keep it in their half. 1-1 scoreline here. An own goal off Davidson in the 16th minute. Lavelle with their third international goal in the 33rd minute.
Again, just a good look at how the U.S. shifts across slides with their midfield three. They're the ones responsible to win that ball there.
Brazil is first to that ball. Adriana blocked by Ertz. And the foul on Ertz, free kick.
Here's a look at the one where Rapinoe's just trying to slalom in between two.
Back to live action. That's Davidson defending. Brazil says it's a corner. Tough first half for Megan Rapinoe and the U.S., but they're still involved in a 1-1 game.
And sure enough, she gets her. That angle.
That was a better angle for us, right?
I think so. The right decision to try to go at that front foot of the defender. Stabs at it.
Seconds left in this first half. That's off Horan. Rapinoe goes for it. Continues to go for it. Trying to get around Rayani. It's another leg that was left out there. U.S. will have a free kick, and maybe this is it, if it's allowed. It's going to be ruled a throw-in for Brazil. This is probably it. Beatrice. We're past the 2 minutes of stoppage time, which was a minimum. Dunn, Lavelle. Back towards Sonic. Becky Sauerbrunn. And that should be it. That's final whistle. Entertaining and somewhat physical opening half of play. The own goal off Davidson, and then Rose Lavelle also scoring. When we come back, we'll go back to the studio and Alex Curry and Leslie Osmond.
Eddie Jimenez is the son of immigrants who fought for a better life for their family. Through their example, Eddie learned to fight for others. When the strongest hurricane of the century made landfall, Eddie took to the air, rescuing 42 people and earning a medal for his heroism. Eddie flew with a fighting spirit that can't be pinned to the ground. Since 1925, we've proved that it doesn't matter where you come from, it matters what you're made of. Modelo, brewed with a fighting spirit.
So you have your headphones, Chair, new laptop, 24/7 tech support.
Yep, thanks guys. I think he might need some support.
Yes.
Start them off right with the school supplies they need at low